Tonight at 5, almost 2 months after a deadly shooting on State Street, a suspect is still at large. What local police are saying about the investigation. Plus, a disappointing end of the season. Taking a closer look at what's next for the green and gold. You're watching News 3 now at 5. Police identified a suspect in a November State Street shooting right away, but almost 6 weeks later, he is still on the loose. 40-year-old Lamar Jefferson faces several charges, including attempted first-degree intentional homicide. Brady Mallory joins us with the latest information from Madison Police. Brady?
Well, we've been working to answer this question. Why haven't police caught Jefferson yet? It's a question we've been asking police ourselves. We didn't get that answer, but MPD says it's still searching for Jefferson. According to the complaint, Jefferson and the victim were having an argument, and Jefferson allegedly shot the victim several times on November 29th. The victim did not die. Police say Jefferson has no permanent Madison address, which complicates the search. He does have ties to Madison, though, along with Milwaukee and Chicago. This investigation is ongoing, and an MPD spokesperson says there are multiple resources devoted to finding him. Jefferson should be considered armed and dangerous, so if you see him, call 911 immediately. And you can also share an anonymous tip with Madison Area Crime Stoppers at 608-266-6014 or online at p3tips.com.
Brady, thank you. Emergency crews were called to downtown Madison after a rollover crash. It happened in the area of Langdon at Francis Street about 8:45 this morning. Amazingly, there were no injuries reported. Investigators are still working to determine what caused the crash. Well, let's get a look at your certified most accurate forecast. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti is back. He is out on the weather patio. Gary?
It's good to be back, Eric. And the weather is pretty quiet. It looks like it's going to stay that way for a while, and temperatures are going to stay above normal. You can see a visible cloud track. We did have some sunshine today. The clouds moved in a little bit later than expected, so temperatures were a degree or two warmer than what we expected, but now some clouds are moving in from the west, and there could be some areas of fog as well. But you can see any precipitation has been very light in the form of just a few flurries up in the northern portion of the state. Visibilities right now generally between 5 and 10 miles, but we'll see those visibilities lower as fog starts to develop overnight. Temperatures right now are above freezing, 37 in Madison, 39 in Janesville, 35 in Lone Rock. Across Dane County, still 41 degrees in Edgerton, 38 in Cross Plains, and 39 in Wanakee. But as those temperatures hold nearly steady in the middle 30s this evening, they'll fall below freezing later on tonight. We could see some drizzle or some patchy freezing drizzle. I'll have more on that in just a few minutes.
All right, we will catch back up with Gary shortly. Gary, thank you. The Packers spent the day cleaning out their lockers instead of preparing for a playoff game. It is a disappointing finish to a disappointing season overall. Our Jordan Reed is here now with what the players had to say today. Jordan?
Yeah, that word disappointment came up with multiple players in the locker room today. This isn't the end to the season anyone expected or wanted, especially the team went into last night with a playoff spot in sight. The players said they were proud of how they responded to adversity throughout the year, but also said they know they'll have to be better next year.
It's never how you want it to end. When you're right there, you fought through so much and so close just to come up short. So a little disappointed, but proud of all my guys in this locker room. You know, we fought, we never gave up. So we'll be better for it in the end.
The margin for error is super slim, and it's hard to win in this league. And we're kind of you know, blessed to be a part of all those, 13 win seasons. But yeah, it's just kind of brings us to reality that it isn't so easy, and you got to be at the top of your game all season, and yeah, we just weren't.
The big question on everyone's mind right now, whether Aaron Rodgers will be back. The players say they hope he'll be back next year, but say it's his decision to make, and they won't try to lobby him into staying. Head coach Matt LaFleur was scheduled to talk with the media for his year-end press conference at the top of the hour. I'll have a recap of what he had to say tonight at 6.
Jordan, thank you. New tonight, Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin has now been transferred to a hospital in Buffalo to continue treatment after his on-the-field collapse during last week's game. Doctors at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center made the surprise update saying Hamlin, who had suffered that cardiac arrest, has been up and walking now since Friday. The 24-year-old even watched his team's emotional win on Sunday against the Patriots, the Bills beating their divisional rivals 35-23.
The opening kickoff was run back. He jumped up and down, got out of his chair, set, I think, every alarm off in the ICU in the process.
And today, Hamlin took to social media thanking his doctors at Cincinnati, adding the Buffalo team now treating him has already made him feel at home. He also said, quote, "Watching the world come together around me on Sunday was truly an amazing feeling, bigger than football." a fundraiser for Hamlin's charitable foundation has now surpassed $8.5 million. It is a packed four-way primary for the state Supreme Court, and the candidates all met for the first time today in a forum in Madison. Political reporter Will Keneally joins us from the Supreme Court chambers with more on what they had to say. Will?
That's right, Eric. As you mentioned, it is an absolute packed four-way primary here for those chambers that you can see right across the rotunda here from where I'm standing. And so it's essentially a two-sided primary. You have two liberals running on one side and two conservatives running on the other side, essentially making it two different primaries on either side of the political spectrum. And we heard the candidates speak to that today.
The maps are rigged, bottom line.
You don't often hear that from a judicial candidate, taking a clear position on a political issue like that. But Milwaukee Judge Janet Protasewicz is running in a primary election, trying to win over liberal voters.
So as I've indicated, I think those maps are rigged. I think they're unfair. I don't think they fairly reflect the population in our state.
And we heard a little bit of that from the other liberal in the race, Dane County Judge Everett Mitchell. This was his answer on whether he would let partisan influences affect his rulings.
And so I married this same-sex couple, and I pastor the only open and affirming congregation. Why? Because I'm independent, and I cannot be controlled by others, groups, or influences.
We also heard that answer from the conservative candidates, including former Justice Dan Kelly. He says he would let the law be his primary guide on decisions.
Politics is poison to the work of the court. Now, everybody who comes to the court, regardless of what they might tell you, everybody has political beliefs. The question is whether you can set them aside to do the work of the court.
We also heard from the candidates on various cases. Over the weekend, we learned that Waukesha Judge Jennifer Doros stands on Lawrence v. Texas. She called this one of the worst decisions the U.S. Supreme Court made, which struck down a Texas law banning sodomy.
Sometimes the words or even the statutes themselves are stupid. But stupid doesn't mean unconstitutional. It doesn't matter to my job whether I like the words or even to agree with the law.
So this is the first time that we heard from all four candidates in the primary. They'll face each other in a February primary, and the top two, regardless of party affiliation, will face each other in the April general. Reporting from the Capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
Will, thank you. The city of Beloit held a ballot placement drawing for the spring election today for 3 open city council seats. State law requires a drawing to determine the order of candidates' names on a ballot. The candidates are Yusef Adama, Sherry Blakely, and Nancy Forbeck. Blakely and Forbeck are currently incumbents. City Councilman Clinton Anderson is not seeking re-election. Tonight, a Virginia community will hold a vigil for a teacher who police say was intentionally shot by a 6-year-old inside a classroom. 25-year-old Abby Zwerner suffered life-threatening injuries to her abdomen after she was shot on Friday. Investigators say she and the student had an altercation, but police have not released further details, including how the boy got the gun or who owns it. Virginia law says the boy cannot be tried as an adult and is too young to be committed to a detention center, but he could be removed from his home, and the parents or caretakers could face charges.
Parents could be charged with a misdemeanor, which would be a maximum of 12 months in jail.
No other students were harmed. The school will be closed today and also tomorrow. Zwerner is in stable condition, showing signs of improvement. President Biden kicking off the North American Leaders Summit meeting with one-on-one with Mexico's president. The flow of migrants at the top of the agenda here. Mexico's President Manuel Lopez Obrador announced his country would accept up to 30,000 migrants per month from Cuba, Nicaragua, Haiti, and Venezuela while they await amnesty verdicts in the U.S. It follows a Biden administration policy announcement that migrants from those 4 countries are eligible for a 2-year work visa if they have sponsors, pass background checks, and secure an airline flight to the U.S. President Biden made his first visit to the border since he's been in the White House over the weekend. During a stop in El Paso on Sunday, Border Patrol agents told him they need help.
They need a lot of resources, and we're going to get them for them. It just so happens he's 2 years and about $20 billion too late.
President Biden sent Congress an immigration reform plan 2 years ago where it hit Republican opposition. Mexico's president says President Biden agrees on working together to address the causes of migration so people won't have to leave their home countries. New out of Brazil today, authorities have promised to restore order after thousands of supporters of the country's ex-president Jair Bolsonaro stormed Congress, the Supreme Court, and the presidential palace over the weekend. It's a sight many are comparing to the January 6th U.S. Capitol riot of 2021. Officials say at least 1,200 people were arrested or detained. Bolsonaro left Brazil for Florida shortly before new president Luiz Lula da Silva's swearing in last week. Members of Bolsonaro's team met with advisors to former President Trump in recent months. And Sunday's riots echoed what happened at the Capitol 2 years ago. Political analysts say there are questions about the slow response of Brazil's police and military.
A lot suggests that given the pro-Bolsonaro sentiment and anti-democratic sentiment in the armed forces and the police, that the security apparatus may have actually helped the protesters to attack the building yesterday in the Capitol.
Some U.S. Democratic lawmakers are calling for Bolsonaro to be sent back to Brazil. The White House says it has not received any official requests from the Brazilian government. Next at 5, Gary is back. He'll have our latest forecast and a warning for homeowners after a recent study found almost half of Dane County homes had high levels of radon. We'll have the details after the break. And later, officials share new information about a fire that happened at a garbage collection plant in Whitewater last night. That story and more next hour on News 3 Now at 6. And the markets start the week with mixed results. The Dow Jones loses 113 points. The Nasdaq adds more than 66. The S&P 500 falls 3. And we'll be right back.
Wisconsin. It's easy to take for granted how we warm up. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? For many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
New year, new you. Join Anytime Fitness and get 30 days free. Get more out of your membership than just machines. Because here, you can lift your weights and lift your mood. Now through January 31st, get 30 days free at Anytime Fitness. Hurry in now.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
This is how it feels to do more with less asthma, thanks to Dupixent. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems. It's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma and can help improve lung function for better breathing in as little as 2 weeks. Dupixent helps prevent asthma attacks and can even reduce or eliminate oral steroids. Imagine that. Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Who knows what you can do when you do more with less asthma? Ask your asthma specialist about Dupixent.
Need life insurance? SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, a $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. And SelectQuote found his wife, Wendy, a $500,000 policy for only $17 a month.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Odorless, colorless, and deadly. News 3 Now reminds residents of the importance of radon testing and shows how the process is done.
Weighing in on safety factors, a local health department explains what every individual should know about the dangerous gas tonight at 6.
I'm News 3 Now's Josh Spreiter. I'm visiting the people, places, and events that make this area one of a kind. Tell me what inspires you, and it might be featured on News 3 Now this morning.
In the 608, weekdays on News 3 Now this morning. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Almost half the homes in Dane County had high levels of radon. That's according to public health officials after a 3-year study. And now, during National Radon Action Month, Andrew Banstra spoke to officials who are urging everyone to check your homes. Andrew?
Eric, it's the second most common cause for lung cancer. The radioactive gas is widespread across Wisconsin, but can't be seen, smelled, or tasted, making it an invisible danger to your health. Radar comes from soil and is radioactive. While it's dangerous for the lungs, the good news is that simply testing for radon is easy and only $10 through PHMDC. The bad news happens when you don't know what's in your own home.
Again, radon is a long-term risk. It's not something that's going to make you sick in a day or 2 days or 3 days, but it's something that is over the period of years. And most people go into a home thinking, you know, this is where I want to settle and be here for a number of years. You know, you want to know what it is you're exposing yourself to.
The state health department says almost 1,000 people die each year from radon-related lung cancer, but you don't have to worry about that if you take action. At 6, I'll show you how to take action with the help of a local radon testing company.
Andrew, thank you. More than 7,000 nurses are on strike at 2 major New York City hospitals. It's leading to patients being rerouted elsewhere. They say it's about staffing shortages and also burnout. Ivan Rodriguez has the latest.
After negotiations with 2 major hospital organizations in New York City failed, more than 7,000 nurses are on strike.
This is not about the nurses, it's not about us. We are trying to fight for our patients.
The 2 hospitals at the center of negotiations, Mount Sinai and Montefiore. Although the union agreed to similar pay raises at other hospitals, it says its major complaint is nurses being overworked and understaffed after years of battling COVID-19.
It was never about wages. It was always about safe patient care. And Mount Sinai know that what we need from them is proper nurse-to-patient ratios, is proper enforcement for staffing.
Until a deal can be reached, ambulances and patients are being rerouted to other hospitals and NICU babies are being sent to other locations. Some elective procedures have also been postponed.
Imagine anticipating something, whether it's starting, you know, your chemo or continuing it for oncology or cardiac surgery or anything like that. I think that, you know, even when we have time to get some sleep, that's what keeps us awake.
Although they say they'd rather be inside helping their patients, nurses vow to remain on the picket line until a deal is reached.
If you see nurses outside, there's something wrong inside the building. So that's why we like, it's enough is enough. We have to be outside.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Bargaining teams at 3 hospitals have met with nurses union more than 40 times since September. And as it became clear this week that a strike was likely, hospitals rushed to bring in temporary staff to continue operations, even pressing doctors into service to fill nursing gaps. Well, we just want to take a moment now to welcome back Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti to News 3 Now. Gary, you are a sight for sore eyes for many of our viewers. You lost your wife, Jean, of course, in early December. And, you know, we've had so much viewer support, and we have missed you dearly. It's great to have you back.
Well, I want to thank you guys for your help, and, of course, our weather staff for filling in, and to the viewers as well. I mean, the outpouring of support and cards and letters and Facebook messages and offers of food. There's a picture of Jean and I on our wedding day. We were married 26 and a half years, and you can frequently find us at the Cubs games with her son Chuck. But this is one of my favorite pictures. It was taken about a year ago, and we were in Hawaii on one of our holiday vacation trips. So I will miss her dearly. But you know, like I say, through everybody's support, I think it has really helped me, you know, start to move on and figure out what the new normal is. But again, I want to thank everybody for.
Well, she was an amazing lady. Of course, my neighbor too, Gary and Jean, are neighbors of ours, and a great educator in the Verona district for many, many years. So she will be missed. It is so good though to have you back. And I know one thing, Gary needs to talk about weather, maybe to get his mind off things. So it's good to have you in this place because it just feels normal again.
Yeah, you know, and for the most part, the weather's looking pretty quiet. I'm not looking for much in the way of any active weather. In fact, if you take a look at Doppler track, just a couple of flurries up in the northern part of the state. We've had some sunshine today, but that gave way to clouds late this afternoon. And for the most part, we're looking at more in the way of clouds. But what's kind of interesting, if you look at the snow depth across the upper Midwest, take a look at where the heaviest snow is. This is like over 2 feet of snow on the ground through northwestern Wisconsin, back down toward the Twin Cities, a general area of a foot or more of snow up through about the northwestern third of the state. But notice to the south, that snow amount drops off, and basically there's no snow at all to the south. Now, if we get winds out of the northwest off of that snow cover, we get cold in a hurry. That's what we saw as we headed through the Christmas holiday. But after that, the winds have mainly been out of the south, and for the most part, that's going to keep our our weather milder than normal. So tonight, we also could see some areas of fog form. At this point, we're not looking at really widespread fog, but it's possible there could be some areas of denser fog, and also some drizzle or even freezing drizzle, depending on what temperatures turn out to be. But again, those above normal temperatures are going to continue for the rest of this week and probably through most, if not all, of next week. You can see the fog not too dense right now. Visibility is generally between about 5 and 10 miles, but eventually that fog will start to thicken up later on tonight. If we look out in the Pacific Ocean, here's the reason why we've been so mild. The jet stream basically plowing across the Pacific Ocean, spinning up these huge storm systems that have been heading toward the west coast of North America, pounding the west coast, California getting hit with heavy rain and snow. But what happens is, notice the jet stream, it kind of splits into two. One part goes up to the north, that allows milder air to head eastward. The main storm track heads to the south, and that takes a lot of the precipitation with it. So we're not getting a lot of that precipitation moving in from the west. Neither moves to the north or south of us. Even when the upper level winds come in from the northwest, they're not coming out of central Canada, or they're not even coming off of that heavy snow cover to the north and west of us. They're mainly from west to east. That brings in milder Pacific air, and our temperatures stay above normal. If we look at the snow cover again, you can see it's very widespread to our north and west, but almost nothing to our south and to our east. And as long as the winds are out of the south like they are now, our temperatures are going to stay above normal. So as we check out our forecast for tonight, planning your night, look for a low of 29 in Madison, 31 in Brooklyn, 30 in Dalyville, and there could be some areas of fog or drizzle and freezing drizzle. Across the rest of southern Wisconsin, low of 32 in Janesville, 29 in Lone Rock, and 30 for the low in Baraboo. For tomorrow, look for some patchy early morning fog, otherwise variably cloudy and milder, high temperature topping out at 35. And the 7 to 10 day forecast brings us back up close to 40 on Wednesday. A weather system to our south could bring us some light snow chances south and east of Madison on Thursday morning. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will be dry with a warm up again into early next week. Mainly rain on Monday, maybe mix a little snow north of Madison, mixing with snow everywhere overnight into Tuesday morning before that comes to an end. And another system brings us a chance for some rain or snow showers toward Thursday of next week. But right now, temperatures remain above normal. As we check out first warn traffic, here's the live view of the Beltline at Verona Road. Traffic moving pretty steadily in both directions. Not seeing any issues right now on the Beltline. Just a little bit of a slowdown approaching Stoughton Road as the flex lanes start to come to an end there. Otherwise, about a 16-minute trip either direction on the Beltline between University Avenue and the interstate. 25 minutes from the Beltline to Janesville on I-3990. 16 minutes from Middleton to Sauk City on US 12. Downtown to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue and US 151 takes you 19 minutes. That's your news for now. First warn traffic.
Gary, once again, welcome back. Great to hear your voice on the air. And for the first time in 15 years, doctors are updating the guidelines for childhood obesity. A closer look at the aggressive recommendations. That's next at 5.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
At Lawton Cates, your life counts is more than just a slogan. It's being prepared for all the challenges you may face after a serious injury. It's confronting every aspect of your case with honesty, integrity, and innovative solutions that have earned us a reputation for excellence in representing the injured. It's no wonder so many clients refer their own friends and family to our team of dedicated professionals year after year. Your life counts. Lawton Cates. Call today for a free consultation.
Lake Ridge may be a new name, but it isn't a new bank. It's one built on over a century of community commitment. One equipped with all the knowledge and resources of 145 collective years of experience. Monona Bank and State Bank of Cross Plains are coming together as one. As Lake Ridge Bank, we're doing more together for you.
Do you suffer from chronic or severe back or neck pain? Did you know that there's now a treatment method available right here at Midwest Spine and Nerve Center that offers hope of avoiding spinal surgery for those suffering with bulging, herniated, or degenerative discs? Our therapies help reduce pain related to these conditions and have a high success rate in helping people just like you avoid back or neck surgery.
I've experienced low back pain for over 15 years. I had back surgery when I was 26 and had difficulties recovering. The doctors at Midwest Spine and Nerve Center have given me a new lease on life. I am now able to enjoy an active, pain-free lifestyle.
Call Midwest Midwest Spine and Nerve Center now to schedule a no-obligation consultation to see if our progressive pain-relieving therapies are right for you.
All right, team, we got a big project coming up. And it all starts with ordering promotional products.
I'm on it. 4imprint makes it easy to get the logoed products you're looking for. The latest in apparel, drinkware, bags, high-tech items, and more. You can be certain of getting it right at 4imprint.com.
Come on out. I'm on it.
4imprint, for certain.
You can get any phone you want.
Any one I want?
Any phone you want.
Connection is the greatest gift of all. At US Cellular, we're offering any phone free for new and current customers.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
The American Academy of Pediatrics is out with new guidelines on childhood obesity. Doctors are now recommending children be treated early and aggressively, including prescribing medication and even surgery. Dina Demetrius shares one teen's story who is hoping to reach others who may feel isolated.
18-year-old Rose Garcia says she's been overweight as long as she could remember.
I went to a regular yearly physical at my primary care, and I communicated how I wanted to get some help to lose weight.
The teen also needed medication for high blood pressure. Doctors reviewed diet, exercise, and medication.
It was having some negative side effects, and I really wasn't too happy with it. And I communicated my interest in bariatric surgery.
New guidelines from the American Academy of Pediatrics highlight there's more evidence than ever that treating obesity in children is safe and effective. Watchful waiting or delaying treatment is no longer recommended.
Childhood obesity can lead to a raft of physical and psychological conditions. These include type 2 diabetes, hypertension, depression.
Dr. Iwama Inelli with Nationwide Children's Hospital co-authored the guidelines, which say effective treatment may include nutrition support, physical activity, behavioral therapy, medication, and metabolic and bariatric surgery.
It is not about a number with the weight or the body mass index group. It is about health. It's about helping that child feel happier.
Obesity affects around 14.5 million children in the U.S., and the numbers have been increasing. It's been 6 months since Rose's surgery. She's lost over 90 pounds and no longer needs blood pressure medication.
I feel like it's one of the best decisions I've ever made for myself. For my own health, but also mentally.
She wants other teens to know they are not alone and help is available. Dina Demetrius, CBS News.
The guidelines specify doctors should offer kids 12 and older obesity weight loss medication options, along with behavior and lifestyle treatment. Teens 13 and older with severe obesity should also be evaluated for surgery. We'll have a final check of your First Warn forecast in just a moment.
Family-owned Brothers Maine knows choosing appliances for a remodel or new build can be exciting and overwhelming. Our experienced staff has experienced it all as we've guided thousands of area families through appliance selection. Brothers Maine has a larger inventory and low-price deals that consistently beat competitors, including Big Box. You heard me, Big Box can't beat our prices. From sales to install, Brothers Maine does it all. Feel great about your purchases and feel like family at Brothers Maine.
Here at Menards, we've got all your automotive needs covered. From tools and accessories to maintenance and everything in between. Wiper blades? Copy that. Motor oil? Done. A hard-working engine deserves the strong protection of Quaker State Full Synthetic Motor Oil. The best of the Quaker State. It's engineered to give more power, more wear protection, more engine life, and more performance. Get a 5-quart jug for $16.99 when you fit it in the bag. Now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
There's nothing like volunteering at the fire department.
There's nothing like hitting the waves.
But with my moderate to severe eczema, it hasn't always been easy.
Since my skin was so irritated and itchy.
And even worse with all my gear on.
Now, I'm staying ahead of my eczema.
There's a power inside all of us to live our passion. And Dupixent works on the inside to help heal your skin from within. It helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema. So adults can have long-lasting, clearer skin and fast itch relief. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor.
Healing from within is a powerful thing.
Ask your eczema specialist how Dupixent can help heal your skin from within.
I became an orthopedic surgeon for a lot of reasons.
For a lot of reasons.
For a lot of reasons.
To help you take walks again. To ease your pain.
To rebuild your strength.
And at every step along the way,
we take the time to answer all your questions.
We're here because we care.
We care about you. You.
You.
They care about me.
Sauk Prairie Healthcare Orthopedics, now offering robotic-assisted knee replacement.
Memories matter. This bend on Cox Hollow Lake was one of Dad's favorite fishing holes. Crest Funeral and Cremation Service helped us make sure he's never forgotten. Making it personal. It's how you heal. We are Crest. We truly believe your memories matter.
We've got a lot of news to cover tonight. Prince Harry's bombshell 60 Minutes interview. Why the Duke of Sussex called Queen Consort Camilla dangerous. That and more details tonight on the CBS Evening News.
And Gary's back. One final check of the forecast.
Well, keep an eye out for some fog. Here's the live view from the Edgewater Sky Cam. Looks pretty good right now. Not seeing too much in the way of fog. Visibility about 8 miles here in Madison. But we'll see those visibilities drop as the fog thickens up overnight. There could be some drizzle or freezing drizzle. Right now, temperatures still above freezing. 37 in Madison, 37 in Boscobel, 39 in Janesville. Across Dane County, still 39 in Edgerton, 36 in Deerfield, and 36 degrees in Sun Prairie. But again, those temperatures will drop below freezing later on tonight. For this evening, though, look for cloudy skies and some patchy fog. Temperatures staying nearly steady in the middle 30s.
All right, Charlotte will be back with Gary and I in 30 minutes on News 3 Now at 6.